Music is a universal language. You don't need to understand what someone is saying to feel the music or love the music. So like for me, I feel like it's just gonna really bring this industry mainstream, you know, and it's still gonna do a lot. It's gonna contribute, like, it's probably take over the world, because that's like everyone has a little bit of Afro pop like sound inspired, like Afro beats. Like look at Drake, like on his last album, you know, like look at Alicia Keys, what she's doing right now with the sound income on that record. Like everything is coming back home.
So you've talked about wanting to change the global perception of both Nigeria and Africa. Tell us about that.
No one has been able to take it there and show real Africa and show like what it's about, because there's so much beautiful things in Africa. Africa is so beautiful, and that's what I'm trying to do with my music now. From like my videos, like I'm shooting at home, I'm like making sure the prints you wear in my video, we have African prints in there. I'm making sure I have my stuff tailored. Like I'm always like strategic with it, you know, so that the world can like see it in a great light, and I feel like I can do that.
And it's this passion to keep Africa at the heart of his brand that has struck a chord across the world with other people with African roots.
I think Afrobeats is influencing the UK and American scene because of the African, especially the West African diaspora that live in America, in the UK, and in places like Toronto, in Canada. And if I think about the UK, you have this really unique mixture of young black kids from inner cities that quite often are from West Africa, but have grown up in Britain, born and bred, and have Caribbean friends. So you have these new genres like Afro bashment that are coming to the fore, where you have West African kids mixing Caribbean slang, but also using things like Cockney rhyming slang too.
Two British stars from the West African diaspora who do just that are Tiny Temper and Skepta, who have been instrumental in pushing Wizkid's sound further.
Yeah, it's like Skepta's my brother. Skepta has been showing me love from before I even became like Wizkid. He made that record, the Dre Legba remix, happen. Like he played that to Drake and was like, yo bro, you need to get on this. This is like the hardest record right now. And he did. So before I get in the studio, before we make a record, we have to be friends, we have to talk, we have to communicate. If I don't like feel like we can have a connection on the record and it will sound amazing, I won't do it.
How do you make sure that's true and it happens? Like, do you test them on their knowledge or
something?
Yeah,
I do. I test them on it. I'm like, oh, what do you know about this music? Like, you know what I mean? What do you know about my records? Like sometimes, like, have you heard anything about African music? Or what you play to me, or what you tell me about what you know, then I'll be able to say, okay, yeah, he knows or he doesn't.
He was the first Nigerian to reach 1 million Twitter followers back in 2014 and has legions of fans across the African continent. Not bad for someone from a modest background in Lagos. But his success plays into a wider increase in popularity of African culture and a boom of Nigerians returning to their homeland.
For me right now, I would say the music is what is really giving the people joy, because the economy is not amazing, you know, the government can be doing better for the people, you know, but the music is the only thing that's really attracting the people. And like, oh, worldwide, I'm like, oh, there's something in Africa, man.
But your parents weren't always receptive to your choice of career, right? Have they changed their mind now?
My dad used to fight me every time, like, don't go to the studio, stay at home, study, and that. But, you know, like, I just had, like, my dreams and I just followed them, man. But now my dad dresses up every morning like, oh, Wizkid's dad. People take pictures with him on the street when they see him, like, that's Wiz's dad. Like, yeah, so they're so proud, man. That's like my joy, to make them happy. So.
With a new global record deal and behind one of last year's most streamed tracks of over 3 billion online plays, it's clear Wizkid is firmly out of the niche world music arena and a key player in the mainstream.